Did you know the mighty demon Jalandhara, born from fire of Lord Shiva's third eye? Today, we dive deep into the history to know about Jalandhara and his rise to power which shook the entire universe. Once upon a time in Satyayuga, two revered figures set out on a sacred pilgrimage. On one side, we have Brihaspati, the wise and compassionate teacher of the gods, and on the other side, we have Indra, the mighty and headstrong king of the heavens. Their hearts burned with the desire to behold the splendor of Bhagavan Shiva. As they neared Kailasha, destiny had prepared a surprise. Blocking their path was a colossal, enigmatic figure, a naked ascetic with wild matted hair and an aura that radiated both mystery and immense power. Little did they know, this was no ordinary wanderer but Shiva himself, testing their inner wisdom and humility. Indra, proud and accustomed to command, stepped forward and demanded, "Who are you? From whence do you come? Tell me truly, where is Shiva?" But the silent ascetic remained unyielding, his eyes speaking volumes even in calmness. Each moment stretched like an eternity, the silence a challenge to Indra's authority. Frustration simmered within Indra. In a burst of wrath and arrogance, he raised his thunderbolt, but in that electrifying instant, the cosmos itself held its breath. With a graceful yet commanding gesture, the ascetic raised his hand and halted the thunderbolt mid-fight, its raw energy frozen in the air. The power that emanated from him was beyond mortal measure. Then Shiva became furious. His eyes became terrible. He blazed with his burning splendor, and his third eye is ready to open and burn Indra and his arrogance. Brihaspati's wise eyes immediately recognized the truth. The silent guardian was none other than Shiva, the great Bhagavan of gods, whose presence transcended form and defied all expectations. Overwhelmed by reverence, Brihaspati fell to his knees and began a celestial hymn of praise, his words echoing the eternal truths of creation and destruction. In a mesmerizing flow of devotion, Brihaspati exalted Shiva, "O three-eyed one, whose matted locks and fierce gaze hold the secrets of the cosmos. O Lord, who transforms the elements themselves into the music of life, the giver of nectar to the moon and the sun." He spoke of Shiva as the annihilator of time, the embodiment of creation, preservation, and the dissolution of all things, a force that is both the fire that burns and the cool ocean that soothes. Moved by such heartfelt devotion, Shiva's fierce aura softened. With eyes still blazing with the remnants of divine fury, he declared in a voice that thundered like the roaring ocean, "O dear Brihaspati, your devotion has touched the depths of my being. Henceforth, you shall be known as the enlivener, for you have breathed life even into the heart of Indra." With these sacred words, Shiva released the divine fire from his third eye, which was meant to kill Indra, and threw it into the salty ocean. The tension dissolved like mist, and Indra, his pride humbled and his spirit enlightened, fell to knees in grateful submission. Together Indra and Brihaspati departed Kailasha, forever transformed by this encounter with the divine. As Shiva threw the divine fire from his third eye into the ocean, something extraordinary happened. From this divine fire, a baby was born at the confluence of the Ganga river and the ocean. The child has a terrifying presence and cried so loudly that the earth trembled. The heavens echoed with his cries. Even Satyaloka, the highest realm, was shaken. The gods and sages were terrified. They rushed to Lord Brahma, "O Lord of the worlds, this sound is frightening. Please stop it." Brahma, puzzled by the event, descended to earth to investigate. Upon reaching the ocean, he saw the mysterious baby in the lap of the ocean god. Brahma, surprised, asked the ocean about the child's origins. But even the ocean god has no answer. He simply said, "O Brahma, this child appears suddenly in the waters of the Ganga. I know nothing more. Please tell us his destiny." As Brahma held the child, the baby grabbed his neck and shook him violently. Tears flowed from Brahma's eyes. He then declared, "Since he made my eyes water, he shall be known as Jalandhara." Brahma also foretold that Jalandhara will become a young warrior now itself. He will become a master of all sacred laws, very valorous, courageous, heroic, invincible, and majestic. Like Kartikeya, he will be the conqueror of all in battles. He will shine with all sorts of prosperity. He would become the king of demons and even challenge Lord Vishnu. No one could defeat him except Lord Shiva himself. His wife will be a chaste lady who will increase good fortune. She will be exquisitely beautiful in every limb. She will be an ocean of good conduct and will speak pleasing words. After saying so, Brahma called Sukra and performed Jalandhara's coronation. Brahma then took leave of the ocean and disappeared. As Jalandhara grew, he became incredibly strong, wise, and courageous. The ocean god, proud of his son, decided to find him a perfect bride. He chose Vrinda, the daughter of the mighty demon Kalanemi. The wedding was grand. The rivers and demons celebrated with great joy. Even those demons who once hid in the underworld now emerged, ready to stand by their new leader. Jalandhara, with his wife Vrinda and the support of the great sage Sukra, became the ruler of Asuras. The mighty Jalandhara, noble-hearted and fearless, ruled over the Asuras with unmatched power. One day, a wise sage named Bhargava came to the court of King Jalandhara. The demon king and his warriors bowed to him in respect. As the court continued, Jalandhara saw Rahu, a strange-looking asura with only a head and no body. Curious, Jalandhara asked, "O sage, what happened to Rahu? Why does he not have a body?" Sage Bhargava replied, "Long ago, your ancestor King Bali defeated the gods. The gods then asked Lord Vishnu for help. Vishnu advised them to make peace and churn the cosmic ocean to get Amrita, the nectar of immortality. Both gods and demons worked together. Many treasures came from the ocean. But when the nectar appeared, the gods tricked the demons and drank it all. Rahu, a clever demon, disguised himself as a god and drank the nectar. But Vishnu saw through his trick and cut off his head with his divine Sudarshana Chakra. Since the nectar had already touched his throat, Rahu did not die. He became a floating head and now chases the sun and moon, causing eclipses." Jalandhara's anger grew like a raging fire. "How dare the gods steal from my father, the great ocean? This is unfair. The gods must pay for this." He called his trusted messenger Ghasmara and said, "Go to Indra, the king of the gods. Tell him to return my father's treasures, or there will be a war." Ghasmara reached Indra's palace and delivered Jalandhara's message. Indra was surprised but soon became proud and stubborn. The ocean's treasures belong to the gods. If Jalandhara wants war, then let there be war. When Ghasmara returned with Indra's reply, Jalandhara's fury exploded like a volcano. He gathered his mighty demon army and marched to the heavens. The war was fierce, swords clashed, arrows flew, and the earth shook. Jalandhara's warriors Shumba and Nishumba fought bravely. The gods were strong, but Jalandhara's power was unstoppable. Both sides suffered great losses, but something strange was happening. Fallen demons were coming back to life. Sage Bhargava was using a secret power to revive them. At the same time, a wise sage named Angiras used magical herbs to revive the gods. Jalandhara asked, "How are the gods returning from the dead?" Sage Bhargava revealed the secret. "O king, the gods are using herbs from Mount Drona to revive themselves." Without wasting time, Jalandhara lifted the entire mountain with his hands and threw it in the ocean. Now the gods had no way to return their warriors to life. Seeing their warriors fall, the gods panicked. Even Indra, the mighty king of the gods, ran away to hide. Jalandhara conquered the heavens and became the ruler of the gods' kingdom. With no other option, the gods went to Lord Vishnu for help. "O Vishnu, the protector of the universe, save us from Jalandhara," they pleaded. Lord Vishnu smiled and said, "Fear not, I will face Jalandhara." But his wife goddess Lakshmi was sad. "O Lord, please don't harm my brother Jalandhara." Vishnu replied, "I cannot kill him, but I must fight him to protect the gods." Vishnu entered the battlefield, and the gods gained new courage. The sky darkened as Vishnu and Jalandhara clashed in an epic battle. The earth trembled and the universe watched in silence. Jalandhara was strong and Vishnu was impressed. "You are a true warrior, Jalandhara. Ask for a boon and I shall grant it." Jalandhara smiled. "Then, my dear brother-in-law, come and stay in my kingdom with my sister Lakshmi and rule beside me." Vishnu was shocked, but he had promised to grant the boon. "So be it," he said with sadness. Jalandhara ruled over all three worlds, heaven, earth, and the underworld. He made the gods his servants and ruled wisely. There was no sickness or sadness in his kingdom. But the gods were unhappy. They went to Lord Shiva, the great destroyer, for help. Shiva listened carefully and thought of a plan. He sent the clever sage Narada to Jalandhara's court. Narada praised Jalandhara's power. "O great king, you have everything, wealth, strength, and glory. But there is one thing missing. The most beautiful woman in the universe does not belong to you." Jalandhara's eyes widened. "Who is she?" Narada whispered, "She is goddess Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva. She is more beautiful than the stars. Shouldn't she belong to a king like you?" Jalandhara's pride took over. "Then I shall claim her." And with that, Jalandhara set out on a path that would lead to his downfall. He thought, "Why should a wandering ascetic like Shiva have the most beautiful wife? I am the ruler of the three worlds, I should have her." And so he called his most trusted messenger Rahu. "Rahu, go to Kailash. Tell Shiva that he, a mere ascetic who lives in the mountains, does not deserve a beautiful wife like Parvati. She belongs to me, the ruler of the universe. Let him surrender her willingly before I take her by force." Upon reaching Kailash, Rahu was allowed inside by Nandi, Lord Shiva's guardian. But the moment Rahu saw Lord Shiva, he was struck with awe. Though afraid, Rahu gathered his courage and spoke. Rahu, hesitant but firm, said, "O great Lord Shiva, I bring a message from my king Jalandhara. He says that he is the ruler of the three worlds and that your wife, goddess Parvati, should be with him instead of you, a simple ascetic." The moment Rahu finished speaking, something terrifying happened. From between Lord Shiva's eyebrows, a blinding light burst forth. Out of this light emerged a monstrous being, huge, terrifying, and hungry. His eyes burned like fire, his tongue flickered like a snake, and his mouth was wide enough to swallow the sky. Rahu trembled with fear. He tried to run, but the beast grabbed him. Rahu pleaded and said, "O Lord Shiva, forgive me. I am just a messenger. Please don't let this monster devour me." Lord Shiva, kind and just, raised his hand. Lord Shiva calmly said, "This being is my own creation, and I never let those who seek my refuge suffer. Release him." At Shiva's command, the terrifying being let Rahu go. But now it stood there confused and hungry. Kirtimukha, in a deep voice, said, "O Lord Shiva, you created me, but now I am hungry. What shall I eat?" Lord Shiva smiled and said, "If you are truly hungry, eat yourself." Without hesitation, the creature obeyed. It began eating its own body, first its arms, then its legs, until only its head remained. Shiva, pleased by its obedience, gave it a special blessing. Lord Shiva smiled and said, "You are truly devoted and powerful. From now on, you shall be called Kirtimukha, the face of glory. You will guard the entrance of my temples, and anyone who does not honor you before worshipping me will not receive my blessings." And so Kirtimukha became a sacred guardian seen on the entrance of every Shiva temple. After being saved by Lord Shiva, the humble Rahu journeyed to Jalandhara's city. He revealed how he had witnessed Mahadeva's divine might. But instead of caution, Jalandhara was engulfed in rage. His pride erupted. And so a terrifying army assembled, Kalanemi, Shumbha, Nishumbha, and countless Daityas. Clad in armor that shimmered like molten iron, they surged towards Mount Kailasha. The gods trembled at Jalandhara's wrath. Indra and the Devas, knowing they stood no chance, fled to Shiva, their only hope. "O Mahadeva, even Vishnu could not defeat him. Save us, O destroyer of evil," they pleaded. Shiva, ever compassionate, turned to Vishnu. O Narayana, how did Jalandhara survive your wrath? O Mahadeva, he was born of your essence. Bound by his boon and his connection to Lakshmi, I could not end him. Shiva with a divine voice said, "Then I shall end him." The Asura army reached the sacred peaks of Kailasha. The sky darkened, the mountains shivered. But then the celestial warriors of Shiva, the Ganas, rushed to defend their lord. Nandi, Vigneshwara and Kumara led the charge. Steel met steel, arrows rained, and the battlefield turned into a storm of chaos and blood. But the Asuras had a secret weapon. Sage Shukra, master of Sanjeevani, revived the fallen demons endlessly. Shiva's fury ignited the cosmos. From his mouth emerged Kritya, a monstrous goddess of destruction. She swallowed Sukra, cutting off the Asura's lifeline. Jalandhara himself stormed onto the battlefield. His arrows struck down the bravest of warriors, Nandi, Ganesha, and even Veerabhadra. His strength was overwhelming, but then the earth itself trembled. Lord Shiva, in his fiercest form, stepped onto the battlefield. Jalandhara unleashed a storm of arrows, but Shiva, the master of all forces, merely laughed. His divine missiles shattered Jalandhara's weapons in midair. As the Daityas fell one by one, Jalandhara's arrogance only grew. He conjured illusions, turning the battlefield into a paradise of celestial dancers. Even the Ganas fell into the trance. Shiva, lost in the divine dance, lowered his god. Jalandhara, even the deceiver, took on Shiva's form, approaching goddess Parvati. But the mother of the universe saw through his disguise and vanished to the shores of Lake Manasa. The illusion shattered. Jalandhara's deceit could not bind the divine. Far from the battlefield, Parvati invoked Lord Vishnu. Her voice raged with divine authority. O Vishnu, Jalandhara's strength lies in his wife Tapasya. The only way to kill Jalandhara was to let his wife break her dharma, which is acting like a shield. This must end for justice to prevail. Parvati Devi reminds Lord Vishnu that Jalandhara should be taught a lesson in such a way how he distracted Shiva by his Maya. With a solemn nod, Vishnu set forth to the kingdom of Jalandhara. Lord Vishnu assumed a form of a sage and created a Maya or an illusion to Vrinda that her husband was killed and later brought back to life by him as per Vrinda's request. Hence, there was no Vrinda's Tapasya Shakti to protect the original Jalandhara because she used her Tapasya in bringing back the life of Maya Jalandhara. Aftermath, she roamed with Maya Jalandhara in forests, but when she realized that it was an illusion, she cursed Vishnu. Her curse set the stage for Vishnu's future incarnation as Rama and the abduction of Sita by Ravana. Heartbroken, Vrinda ended her life, and from her sacrifice, the sacred Tulsi plant was born, a symbol of purity and devotion, and finally she merged into Parvati. Back on the battlefield, Jalandhara returned brimming with arrogance, but this time Shiva's rage was boundless. The heavens quaked as the gods trembled. In a single divine act, Shiva hurled the blazing Sudarshana Chakra. It tore through the sky, striking Jalandhara and severing his head in an instant. With Jalandhara's fall, peace was restored. Jalandhara merged into Bhagwan Shiva. The earth sighed in relief, the skies brightened, and the cosmos rejoiced. Shiva stood victorious, his presence a beacon of divine justice. The gods chanted victory to Shiva. Flowers rained from the heavens, and the world was finally free from Jalandhara's tyranny. And so, the eternal balance of the universe was restored by Mahadeva, the supreme protector and destroyer. If this epic tale left you in awe, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Chronicle Capsule for more legendary sagas from the depths of time. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of mythology. Om Namah Shivaya.